What's going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, hanging out today, playing some Idle Heroes. I want to thank you guys so much for coming out with me today. If you liked the video, don't forget, smash that thumbs up button and show your support. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright guys, today's video is going to be super late, super duper duper late, because it's already when I should be uploading it when I'm recording it, because I'm a lazy piece of crap and that's what I do. But really, honestly, I just didn't really know what I wanted to do today for the video. I was like, do I want to do a seasonal video? Do I want to just play some official? Or do I want to jump in and do like the private servers new update, because they did change a lot of stuff. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about the private server, go through, look at some of the changes, the new events that they're doing. I'm kind of gonna, I don't know, do like what I do for official for a new event week. I'm gonna start doing it for private server, because essentially they are two different games now. So what we're gonna start here. Start up here. Well, actually, no, we're not. We're gonna start here in, is it notice? There we go. That's the button I'm looking for. The changes. As of the 12th day of the 10th month of the 2018th year of the world. That's not true. But whatever. It's close enough. Anyways, there's been some changes. The Brave Trial Shop now only sells Elite Hero Shards. I actually haven't even checked that out yet, so that'll be fun. Some of the little just bugs and such. But there's been some changes to some artifacts, I guess, as well. You only have to collect your campaign loot 1 time instead of 5 times. Thank God. That was so boring. That was such a boring quest. Like, wait 5 seconds, collect. Wait 5 seconds, collect. So boring. So that's actually, to me, it's very convenient. I like that. However, there's been some changes. Sleepless has had a little bit of a nerf, which from everything I've heard, he was kind of in need of. He's almost impossible to kill, like in the tower and such. The next change here hurt my soul. Heartwatcher, my main lady, the queen of PvP, or PvE, I guess, has been nerfed. And she's been substantially nerfed. It wasn't just like a little tickle on the toe. This like chopped her whole foot off. She doesn't now stack her damage cap to 300%. It's only half that, 150%, which means if you have a 10-star Heartwatcher, by round 4, you're achieving max damage for the entire raid, where it used to take you up to round 8 to get to that same damage buff, and you had twice the damage buff. So expect your PvE damage to take quite the hit, because it absolutely is going to, and again, that's what really hurts me. And I was struggling with it. In fact, guys, I'm not going to lie. The last week, I have debated more than one time just like not playing private server and kind of ditching it and trying to find a new game or just playing some console or something. But instead, I decided, you know what? Instead of trying to make private server my official testing ground, like the whole reason I started to play it was. That's the entire reason I joined the private servers. Like, I just want to have a place where I can test out stuff for official and not have to worry about the costs. Well, that's dead. That died a while ago. That's no longer a thing. So instead, I decided, through some conversation with some peeps of mine in the comments, that I'm just going to treat this as an entirely separate game, because essentially, now it is. There is almost nothing that extrapolates from the private server to official anymore, because everything's been changed. The heroes are different, the monsters are different, your damage output is different. It's just, they're not the same. So instead of worrying about them being, you know, trying to intertwine them, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to make a new playlist, probably tonight or tomorrow, for Idle Heroes private server, so I can separate my videos from official and from private completely, because like I said, they're not the same. Almost nothing will carry over between the two anymore. I mean, it looks the same and stuff, but that's pretty much it. That's as far as the similarities go, as the looks. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the new events. That's what we're going to talk about today. So first up, the Wishing Fountain. Obviously, you know what this is. If you played official, you know what the Wishing Fountain is. It's where the casino used to be. But it's kind of similar to how it used to be on the official. The big thing I wish that the private server would steal from official just a little bit. I mean, they took a lot already, but steal a little bit more. Would be repeatable events. That's a really cool idea on official, and I really liked how it played out. Very cool. And I wish they would kind of carry that over to private, because it was a cool concept, and in the future it may come, because it is really popular on official, is one of the big selling points in their big updates. So seeing something like that pop over here would definitely be nice. But the rewards, pretty much like usual, you get profit orbs. I believe it's up to like what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 10? 10 orbs. So not a ton of orbs, but you get 10 of them. I believe you also get 10 super chips, a couple little artifacts here for food to feed into better artifacts. You also get a 5-star hero, just regular 5-star hero, and a Mickey. Now, Mickey is the top reward. Now, Mickey's been changed on the private server as well. She's totally different, so we'll talk about her over here. But realize, anything I talk about on this account does not pertain to official. They are different games. So don't go on a fishing like, I'm building Mickey, because it's going to be a bad idea and you're going to regret it. Probably. So anyways, that's done. Mysterious Chest is now up. It's very much the same as Officials. There's a couple market differences. On Official, this chest here, the Super Chip chest, is only 1,500 gems because of the lack of value in the Super Wishing coins. Whereas on Private Server, they are far more useful, so the 2,000 price tag actually is, pretty on point. I'm not going to lie about it. But you get your best deal for your heroic summons here, a decent deal on your super chips as well, the best deal for profit orbs, stuff like that. Here you come with KB as the prize for the $6,000 chest. On Official, this is a 5,000 chest, so that is a little overpriced on Private, but on Private you also get much more free gems, so who cares? It balances out, no big deal. And your last chest is just going to be the orange artifact and the guild coins. Whereas usually on Official, they'll throw a skin in there with it. This one doesn't have that, but the price is still the same, 8,000 gems. Not bad. It's actually a really good chest to pick up. We'll just go ahead and do it because I'm gonna use it anyway. Why not? Actually, I can probably just go. I don't really care about King Barton. I'm not going to buy that one. I'll buy everything but KB. How about that? Boop. We'll just go ahead and buy them all. I'm already here. I'll still have over 20,000 gems, so boop. That's thumbs up for Wrath. Get that done. Bam. Bam. Gems have been spent hard. So what we're going to talk about mainly is the units on offer, and we're going to try to go through and look at them and see how they pair into the new world. But remember, this new world of the private server is new for everyone. It's going to be incredibly hard to pinpoint how good or bad a unit is in the grand scheme of things this early into so many changes. So take everything here with a grain of salt. All right, that's the memo. The memo from Wrath. Grain of salt time. So we're going to look at Mickey first. Weep, bam, Mickey. Has her HP been buffed? That seems like a lot. I don't remember that. Whatever. Her speed was nerfed, I believe. She used to be faster. I believe she is now slower than she once was. She no longer has dots, but that was changed a while ago. I think on Official, she has no longer a damage over time. However, her attack boost doesn't have a round limitation, so she will consecutively stack up attack boosts. As she does active skill, that attack will continue to stack up, stack up, stack up, stack up, which will boost her damage by a little bit, which isn't bad. Definitely not a bad deal. First passive here is going to be a block chance, a little bit of speed. I believe that speed buff was higher before. I want to say she was like a 1,200 on Official. I can't remember 100% because I don't really use her that much, but I think she's slower over here. A little bit of crit chance and that huge HP buff to make her quite a bit tankier than I remember her being. When she blocks, she takes 55% of her attack as healing and increases energy by 50. However, see, this is one of the big changes made to Mickey. I believe she used to have a much bigger heal when she blocked, but there was no energy added. What this does is it might sound like, well, that's not that great. Her heal sucks now. Well, think about it. Every time she blocks, she gains 50 energy. She blocks 2 attacks in a round, like if she's your 1 slot, she's going to guaranteed cast her active skill the next turn, which is in turn going to not only do more damage than her regular attacks, but also it's going to boost her attack. So as she keeps casting that active skill, her attack is going to climb higher and higher and higher, and her heal is actually going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, as is her damage output. So it's actually not a bad change. I would say it balanced her out pretty decent. I would say it actually made Mickey far more, usable in my opinion. And the last buff here, frontline enemies taking damage, but it also decreases their damage reduction by 20. This is actually incredibly useful when you fight units like Valkyrie, Gru, even Dantalion. Well, I don't know if Dantalion has the reduced damage over here. Maybe not Dantalion. But like Gru and Valkyrie, units that utilize heavy damage reduction for the frontline tank, she's going to help get rid of that and make it much easier to kill them. So it actually seems pretty solid. And I would say she's going to work in a few areas. Because she stacks attacks, she might be pretty decently solid in PvE. I haven't built an E3 yet, so I don't really know. This is more speculation than anything. And like I said, right now in the private server, almost everything is speculation because it's all been changed. So we don't really know yet. We'll see how it all pans out. But this damage reduction on her basic attack would be really handy, I think, in broken spaces. Stripping off that damage reduction from those bosses can increase your overall damage by a decent amount, so that might be something you see come into play. But also, like I said, if she keeps blocking, because in the private server, block chance not only increases your chance to dodge critical, crowd control, it also, there was another word I had something there. I forgot. I had a train of thought, and I talked about crowd control, and it was gone. It was just boom. I was like, wow, I was going to say something, and now I don't know what it is. Something about block. Oh, block. There we go. I know. Bosses. See, I got there. I got back on track. The train is now chugging along. Bosses have innate precision on official servers. They go through block by themselves, even if they don't naturally have precision, they get some for free. They remove that on private server. So on private server, if a boss doesn't naturally have block, like a precision buff, they don't just get one for free. In this case, it means she's going to block more in PvE, which means she will stack her attack up much higher in PvE. I'd like to see an E3 Mickey's damage output just to kind of test, because I think she can put out some solid damage. I mean, 302% of her attack is nice, especially when that attack constantly raises. If she blocks, it raises even faster. So I would say right now, Mickey's in a pretty nice spot. But a lot of heroes are in a pretty nice spot right now. So like I said, I don't know how she fares in the end times, but it might be something for seasonal. Run through and check a Mickey out in seasonal and see how she plays for you in both sides of the argument. How does she work in PvE and PvP? Right now, she's looking like a pretty solid unit for maybe both. Not so much in-game PvP, but with block reducing crowd control chance on yourself, she might not even be bad in PvP now. Now, I still don't feel like she's going to be in-game PvP. I don't think that's going to be a thing. But I feel like she might be really nice early and mid-game. We'll see. So I'm not 100% sold on the Mickey, but being that it's private server, the events are easy enough to complete anyway that it's not going to hurt you to get that copy no matter what. And the other hero here is going to be King Barton. Bam. KB was also changed, I believe, a little bit. I can't remember what they all were, but there was changes. I want to say damage reduction. There was something. There was something that he was changed. Oh, less control immune. That's what it was. Aha! If you guys don't know about King Barton, you probably don't play a lot of seasonal, because since he came out in seasonal, he's been kind of like the go-to cheese team. Essentially what he does is, we'll run through the order of operations. He attacks people with his basic attack, and he stuns them, or has a chance to stun them. His passive here boosts his damage to stun targets. Every time he's hit, he attacks all the enemies. Since he does extra damage to stun targets and his basic attack stuns, King Barton essentially can stun people and then counter the entire team every time he's hit. So in the front slot, that's 6 counterattacks on the first round, pretty much guaranteed. And he can really nuke down a team. If you have 2 King Bartons, you see that effect stack up higher and higher. I don't know how well he's going to work in-game PvP on the legit private server and not in seasonal, but I would still say this guy is fantastic for early mid-game and probably even into the late game of PvP. I just don't feel like he's bad. Every time I fought King Barton, he has been a huge struggle to beat in PvP. However, when it comes to the boss side of things, he doesn't do a ton. He is tanky as a warrior. He has a nice amount of tank ability. He does gain reduced damage when he casts his active skill, which again, boosts his survivability more. His counterattack every time he's hit can be handy, especially when you fight multiple bosses. When you're fighting something like a Marauder, not so much because you're only countering against one person. If you fight a boss that has 3 units, he's obviously going to deal 3 times more damage as counterattack, so that becomes kind of nice. However, because he's mainly built around stunning and boosting his damage... Oh! Okay, no, okay, I was looking at something. I read it wrong, we're good. The damage versus stun is the same on private. But his control immune was, I believe, 30 before it got nerfed down to 20. Because, like I said, it was if King Barton is not crowd controlled, he does a lot of damage. If you do get him crowd controlled, he's much easier to deal with. So that was kind of their way of nerfing Barton a little bit. But like I said, when it comes to PvE, he doesn't really have the damage output. He just has survivability. It's almost like a Gru in PvE, where he can take a beating and just get slapped all over the face, and he'll probably live, but his damage is not going to be huge. You can use him in a place like if you're fighting Kamath Marauder, throw him in the back line, let him eat that damage, and let your nuke sit in the front and just constantly hammer away, something like that. I wouldn't recommend him for any kind of strictly PvE-based team. I don't think he's good for it. But if you do use him for PvP, he has decent carryover for a PvP unit. Most PvP units don't really fare well against bosses and such, like Dark Arthidal, absolute ball sack against bosses. But this unit actually has a decent amount of staying power for PvE, so he's a nice unit. If you're mainly into PvP, I would say he's definitely worth building, and it's not like you can't swap the guy out later if you wanted to. And if you got to E3 and he just wasn't doing it for you anymore, swap him over to an E3 Crew, swap him over to an E3 Scary, something like that. You can always swap him around. You're not ever stuck with a unit anymore, and that's kind of nice. But that's kind of where I sit on it. Like, good in PvP, works all right in PvE. At E3, he's definitely nice in PvE for the Aspen because he's very tanky with that counterattack. He can put out a decent amount of damage. But, if you're mainly PvE, I don't necessarily say I would build the guy. I'm not going to build him. That's why I left him in the chest. But that's the units covered as far as I can cover them with the limited knowledge I have of the new private server, because like I said, almost everything is different here. It's not the same game that it used to be. It's not official 2.0. It's like Idle Heroes number 2. They're different. They're just totally different now. So we'll see how it all pans out. I figured, with the two servers being completely separate pretty much now, they don't rely on each other. It used to be whatever official did, private server followed. That's not a thing anymore. They're both taking different paths down the road. So I think I'll start doing a video on the updates for the private server after I do my official. Official's still my baby, all right? She's got the sweet spot in my heart. But I figure if I'm going to play both, I'll cover the events on official, and the next day I'll cover the events on private. So that if you play one or the other, if you're more of a private server player, you still get something out of the content. If you're more of an official player, you still get something out of the content. And that's what I'm going for. I want to make you happy. All right, that's what I want. So that's the new events. That's all I really wanted to do today. I was debating doing like a little chat about PvP and why I don't build PvP teams. But you know what? We'll save that one for a later date. For nowsies, that's pretty much all we need to do. We already smashed out the chest event, so that's nothing to do. We might do the casino event over here for a video, because on the private server at least, the casinos are way better. Like you can see, there's a sleepless on my wheel right now. You're not ever going to see that on official. It doesn't happen. So the casino is a million times better on the private server, and I really like it. So in this case, it would be worth me recording in case I did pull that sleepless off. And then I've got, 28 super chips of almost 40 by the time the event ends when I get all the rewards from the deal. And I could go in and do, Kamath? What am I doing? I thought there was a Sigmund. Must have pulled him. There's a Cruise. We'll leave that there. Maybe. Do I need a Cruise? I probably do. Whatever. We'll do some super chips probably as well, just because it makes more fun content. But that is going to be it for today. Oh, wait, no. Pause. Not it for the day. Hold your buttons. Do not click away. There has been other changes. The changes to your daily mail. If you're new and you were like, hey, where's all my loot that I used to get? I used to be getting, the 5 scrolls and such every day, and my orbs. Why is that gone? It's not gone. It's just been moved to your quests. The gems, bam, right there. 735 for completing instead of just 100. And it actually makes it more worth your time to actually do your daily quests, which used to be pretty tedious and boring. Now at least you got a reason to do it. You're going to snag out your orbs from your tavern. That's where your 2 orbs come from each day. Blacksmith giving you 5 casino chips. And then that gives you 40 gems. Maybe they're missing something there. But there's also going to be your heroic scrolls for your event raid. So the rewards aren't gone. They've just been shifted from your mailbox to your daily quests. So wanted to get that put in there before I ended the video. But now, with that said, we are done. We're absolutely finished. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please make sure smash that thumbs up button and show your support. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well and tell your friends about it, because that definitely helps me out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next one.